everyone, welcome back to my channel. Sarah here for a July Inky Thoughts video. I'm not entirely sure when this video is going to come out, but apologies for my voice. I have been in bed sick for 4 days or so. This is a really exciting one. I just noticed I did a swatch and it was a super sheener and it's gone all over those, which is really annoying. So I was really lucky to get the most incredible happy mail from a new pen friend, H. I did some stories about it the other week. I'm still learning about it all, and it was incredible. And I still obviously have no words because I'm not being articulate about it at all. But it's one of the most generous things I've ever been given. And it included so many ink samples. So originally I thought I'd be heavily influenced for my July currently inked from this month's 30 inks, but I definitely want to include a good portion of like the pens that I ink up to be from this pen friend, because she was so generous and has introduced me to so many different inks. So what I thought I'd do just while I chat is I'm just going to show you kind of everything she gave me, and then I'll show you where I'm at. And I haven't actually, there's like 1 or 2 inks I haven't swatched yet, but I knew they weren't gonna be a part of this. So while I do that, I guess maybe I'll just talk a little bit about this gift that I got. H is my first supporter on like Ko-fi or Ko-fi. I say Ko-fi because that's what Simone says, but on that account, and she asked if she could send me some inks, and then a few weeks later I got such an incredible happy mail of inks, of some really beautiful notebooks, of a hand-turned dip pen holder, a rickshaw bag, some great stickers. It was just the most incredible thing. And to be honest, I got it on what was quite a crappy day. It's been a really hard few weeks. There's the sickness side of it where I know I can play. How do I get in my head a lot in winter and when I get sick. So I've got Crohn's. So because I'm immunocompromised, I catch everything, right? And that's fine. But it does end up kind of getting me down. And I definitely get into that feeling of going, oh, am I actually like being a crappy mum? Am I being a crappy wife because I'm not doing as much as I can? Let's pause on that. What isn't here is Emerald of Chivor isn't here, Platinum Carbon Black, and Platinum, is it Ruby Red, the other pigment ink, and maybe one more. A couple of the inks I had, so I included this, like I had Kirisami, but she gave me a sample, so I included this. Anyway, how incredible is all of that? So from this, I kind of went, how do I narrow it down? What am I thinking? And I went, okay, well, she's really given me some really beautiful shimmer inks. I'm still trying to learn about them. So why don't I find some shimmers and see if that can inform something? So I'll show you what the short list of shimmers have been while I keep talking. So yeah, I guess I just get a bit in my head about it and a bit down when I just don't feel like I'm operating at my fullest. And therefore, when I mean operating, I don't just mean for work, but I mean for my kids and my family and everything else. And I'm just having a little bit of one of those days. And I have thought about, how continuously vulnerable people are in this community, but also not just continuously vulnerable, but generous and kind. And, this gift from H is the perfect example of that. And I went, well, I wonder what happens actually if I actually just jump on and, I don't know, to try and, you know, it's, you know what it's like? It's like a form of self-care is what I'm trying to get to. This is like a form of self-care. And so that's what I thought I would do. So, the other ink that isn't swatched here, because I ended up chucking out the swatch, is Organic Studios. Is it Henry David Thoreau? It's like a super sheener, and it just went everywhere. You can see it there. You can see there. So I kind of got rid of it because I didn't want it to contaminate everything. So you can see, for someone who's just really started exploring shimmers, this is pretty incredible. I think there's one or two more. So that's where I'm at. I don't mean to be woe is me, but you know, some days I guess are just easier than others, aren't they? Let's see, do I have any more in here? It might be near the end. Okay. So what else then informed my thinking? I think probably because I have been feeling a little bit down and it's winter, I wasn't really drawn to some of these. I'm also thinking about, H gave me like these really generous ink samples, and I was thinking about maybe doing a collection of some of the lighter ones that, like, for example, because I feel like people who are artistic get a lot more use out of these, and I thought, I can't go to the Melbourne pen meet in June, but I thought maybe for July I could create like a couple of like little bag, like, or not themed, but kind of curated inks for people. I'm still trying to work out the best way to kind of pass on this generosity, like pay it forward a little bit. And so that's what I'm thinking. It's not just about, hey guys, these are samples I don't like, but showing a little bit more thought. This ink is a perfect example. I think that is such a beautiful ink, but it's just too light for me. But I could see someone who is artistic doing such incredible things with it. So why can't, you know, just randomly, like those four, imagine if you got that as like a little artistic set. That's kind of what I've been thinking. And then I also have been thinking about, she gave me some really amazing notebooks from the Paper Penguin Co. on Etsy, which we can't actually get in Australia, but I'm definitely going to do another Aussie ink swap later on in the year. And I thought I definitely want to keep one for that, just to pass on that love a little bit. So of the really bright ones, the one that actually stuck out to me the most was this. It's Vinter Inks Cult Pens Whiskey. I'm not going to use it this month, but next month, July. But I don't know why, there's something just really drawing me to that ink. I also kind of like this. It's a subtler one, but my short list has ended up being this was my short list. I have written myself a few notes, and then from here, I feel like those two kind of have a theme, and those two, and that one is a little bit different. So that's kind of where I ended up in terms of shimmers. I think I'm only going to use one shimmer. And of those, I think it's going to be out of those three. So, oh no, because I've used this in June. So I'm actually taking that away then. There you go, I just made that. So, but then do I bring this back in? I'm going to do, there's something drawing me to those two. So I'm going to do it like this. So kind of similar to when I did the June Inky Thoughts. I don't have a list yet. I've just kind of been narrowing it down, and I wrote myself a few notes of what my thinking is. So this is what I've just decided on. April Showers, Ferris Wheel Press, and Glimmering Greige Ferris Wheel Press. So that's a silver shimmer and that's a gold. And then Vint Inks Pagtangi. Definitely a similarity, but that's definitely cooler than that one. I've used this before very, very early on, and definitely in the wrong pen before I knew a lot about pens. So part of me is also interested to give that another go. I'm also sorry if the lighting isn't as great today. My little light holdery thing just broke, so I need to go get another one. So then this is my other short list of pens, of inks. And then I got to the side, I pulled out some of the 30 inks ones that I've liked as well. That's not 30 inks, I don't think. Neither is that. But anyway, I'll get through these first. So in no particular order, Sailor Yoromeko Kuyuko, Moss Park Green, or maybe I will do in a particular order. Why don't I get all the greens out? That's greenish. Sailor Manyu Hinoki, Ferris Wheel Press Goose Poupon, greenish. These are two of my favorites, Sailor Yoi and Pilot Roshizuku Kirasami. I wonder if I should put these, look how many inks I have to the side, because I have used them before. So that could be a kind of an easier way to eliminate. Okay, we're not really going colour-wise here. Dominant Industries Wonder Pens Tuna Grey. Well, it wasn't in frame there. There's a little bit of shimmer, but that's not the ink. That is, I didn't clean my brush properly. I think this one's probably very much likely to come in. I like having some sort of dark greyish ink for work. I've got Ferris Wheel Press Autumn in Auburn. I have quite a few brownie things here. I'm definitely still in the midst of like discovering all those colours. Treasure Manuscript, Dominant Industries Ginger Chicken. I really like this swatch. Sailor Yoromeko Kitsune Biori, Summer Sunset, Oyster Hour, Honey, the jewel colour brown, green, and Three Oysters Caramel Macchiato. So before I go too much further, maybe I should get rid of some browns. I really like this. I feel like I'm not going to go this way this month, so I'll get, not rid of. I really like this ink. I definitely like these. I don't know if that's going to be too light. They kind of look nice as a, I'm wondering, I'm seeming to go kind of the less saturated, so maybe I'll get rid of those ones. I mean, I'm only going to have like 8 or 9 pens, so I definitely need to cut down more, but this is a good thing to do. And I'm still, I guess, working out whether you guys, oh, I found another one. Well, I didn't see it, so how about I just get it to the side? So then, Diamond Monbotto's hat, Vinta Inks, Cult Pens Lavender, Vanessa Hissy Fit, and Diamond, a jug of sangria. In my April 30 inks, I think I was talking about the Diamond music series as being really dry, learning that from Mountain of Inks, but I got confused. It wasn't the music series she was talking about. It was these, the summer series. So that is something to consider, but I do really love those inks. So then I tried to limit how many from 30 inks, 30 days I brought in. So I've limited myself to 4. I thought I had 6. Where are the other ones? No, because I had that one, I thought. Hang on. I liked that one and I liked that one. So I limited myself to 4. I limited myself to 7. Sailor Ink Studio 280, Kuretake Shikon, Vinta Inks Malay and Apple, Colorverse Huangsho, Carpink Cat's Guard in the Courtyard, Teranishi Inks Opera Rose, and Sailor 252. So I think straight off the bat, I kind of prefer that over that. But I definitely am heading towards less saturated. So I think I'm going to take the Monbotto's hat out. What else am I looking at? I wonder even if that's a bit too saturated, but then so is that. I'll keep that one in for now. I'm going to take that out. So adding these in, looking here. I said before I wasn't going to go down that kind of Goose Poupon world, so I'm going to get rid of that guy. Those are quite similar and they're both from 30 inks, 30 days. So maybe I choose between one of those. Let's do some sort of, okay. So something like that, something like that. I think that one's definitely in. If I look at the greens, Like, even if I just look at that, I think that looks out of place. So do I get rid of that one? Something like that. Do you know what? I'm going to be cutthroat. I'm getting rid of those two. I'm going to go more this muted palette. Surprise, surprise, this month. Yeah, okay, I'll put them on the top of the pile. I don't know why, but I'm really quite drawn to that ink. I think it's the black halo that I really love. Keep that in there somewhere. Do I have any other browns in here? Oh, I do. I have lots. Okay, so I feel like those, I feel like this is maybe too light. So do I make it out of those ones? Oh, I have even more greens. I have Ferris Wheel Press Moss Park Green, and this Sailor Manu Hinoki is probably the only bluish ink I have. So that's probably a high contender. And then I've got Jug of Sangria, Opera Rose, and Summer Sunset. Now, these two are quite similar, and knowing these are on the drier sides, does that make that more manageable in being able to kind of shortlist? So we went from like 30 or something inks to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What's missing? I guess a true blue is missing, but I'm just having a look in other ones that H gave me, and I haven't finished 30 inks yet, so unless something comes up there as well. But as we all know, if you've been around my channel a lot, we know that I don't go to blue inks too often, and part of me would want like another, or like a darker purple, but I don't know if that brings it into the more saturated world. 13 is a good number. Oh, that was another nice one from 30 inks. Having a look here. Or maybe that can be a question to you guys. What would you add into this if you could? What do you think's missing? That was the kind of short listy one from my pen friend. You know what? Maybe we'll leave it at that. That can be my short list. I need to now obviously narrow it down. I think I'm going to have 8 or maybe 9 pens inked up. Let's see if I can get them all in frame for you. I would love to know what you guys think works, what you think doesn't. If there's an ink in here you would definitely love to see inked up, or you're like, no, it's gross. Not that any ink is gross, but you know what I mean. I'm sorry if this has been a bit of a rambly video, but to be honest, even just talking through this and looking forward to what you guys have to say has actually made me feel a little bit better. This is such an incredible community, and I just feel really lucky to be a part of it. I'm not crying, I'm coughing. I could be crying, that doesn't matter. Yeah, I definitely feel really, really lucky to be a part of it. And especially when, you know, times are a little bit hard. So this is what I'm thinking. I feel like it's a very me palette, no surprises. I don't know, there's something about that ink, isn't there? I think, you know what I think it is that intrigues me? I love the base color and how the shimmer interacts with it, but I also really like that halo under there. It's like this dark, dirty, browny, bluey gray, and then how that interacts with the shimmer is different, and I think that's kind of cool. Awesome. I've been rambling for 19 minutes. I might just say this, I think, has been my favorite matchup for June. My Pens by Casey Primary Manipulation 3 with Robert Oster Plum Nut. It's just been an absolute pleasure to write this. This pen gets more comfortable to write with every time I use it. I am in love with it. All right. Let me know, guys, what you think and what you're thinking for your July currently inked. I can't wait to speak to you guys soon. Bye.